We're going to turn this into 130 studio shops and so on, and some exhibition space, something that resembles that kind of vibrancy from the street, from the ground, that we assemble through the events. I was originally trained as an architect. I practiced as an architect before, and people told me that architect, at least some of the, at least your boss in the practice will tell you that architects are not artists. Architects are service providers. At least that's very obvious in Asia. So we're supposed to give advices according to what people ask you. I think this project is quite unique for us. It's almost the first time that we said that, oh, all of a sudden, I'm not someone to serve the developer, serve the very rich class who could buy this very expensive piece of land, but actually we become developer. We were kind of composing the program together, and we are trying to make the decision what to do with this piece of land. We're intervening the city. So what I'm saying is that the cultural practice at one point now in Hong Kong, to our interest, is not only to develop culture, but basically using culture as an excuse to intervene something in the heart, something deep in the economy and the society of Asian cities. Another project, the Victoria Prison. I got a story to tell about this site because, as you see there, 1842, that's the year that the British land onto Hong Kong, and then Hong Kong becomes a colony. The first building the British has built was a stone building, and what is it? It's a prison, and that's the prison. Not this particular one, but that's the site. So that's pretty ironic that the first building that the new ruler come into this country is to make a prison to basically keep wherever he doesn't like to see. And it's a very interesting site. It combines a prison with a police station to the courts. In the contemporary sense, you could call that a very integrated service. It's service design almost, that you go to you get kind of, you got arrested, and then you send to the courts to the next building, and then you go to prison right away. Pretty efficient, and that's the efficiency in Hong Kong. So it's a building since the 19th century. That's the compound, 20 buildings. Most of them now declared as heritage, 2 big courtyards in between. With our experience with some of these cultural events, and then some pavilions that we have done in Venice, that we try to organize our own biennale. We called it, it has nothing to do with Nazi. I don't know why the graphic designers go along that line, but on the left-hand side, you see Hong Kong. On the right-hand side, you see Shenzhen. It's a bi-city biennale. 2 cities together, we have a kind of a biennale in dialogue between cities. So we have designers and architects coming in, showing their work, especially from the region of East Asia, some 70,000 in our Hong Kong exhibition. So I heard that there are altogether 700,000 in Bilbao. So imagine 10% of the population here goes to this exhibition. Including Shenzhen is double. It's around 140,000. And it's kind of the biggest exhibition for design and architecture in Hong Kong after 150 years. We try to use that really not to showcase the architect's own desire or to pitch for jobs. It's not a trade show. It's a platform, and it's not a platform only for designers. Let's not be exclusive, but we're trying to utilize that to get resources. I think that's the most important for the creative community. But I would say even in Europe or the States, but certainly in Asia, that we need way more supports, way more awakenings. Although we're in the beginning, you're probably in your midlife, but we all need more resources to support our work overall in the society. So we try to invite the mayor of Shenzhen here and use that as a diplomatic platform. to invite politicians. So the mayor of Shenzhen said yes, and then as a courtesy, the Hong Kong mayor also has to join us. It's the first time that he ever participated. Everyone is a businessman in Hong Kong, so it's the first time he participated at cultural exhibitions. Quite funny. So we use this as a platform to get these resources together. And what we're trying to do is to convey some of the idea that we have not only for Hong Kong, but for a larger strategic planning or strategic design between cities. At the bottom, or on the south, there's Hong Kong, and then the pinkish color, that's Shenzhen. And we're trying to propose certain infrastructure to link it together. That was a few years ago. Now everyone in Hong Kong is talking about Pearl River Delta and the integration of these different cities. But basically what we're trying to do is to devise our cultural practice for city-states cooperation and competition always happen side by side in Hong Kong. What I'm trying to say is the cultural practice or the cultural projects that what we are doing now in Asia is not at all for our own community only. Certainly it's for us, but not for us only, but to use it to plug into different conditions, spaces, practice, production and consumption, the ecology that we could suck into our system, to suck into our network in order to strengthen the cultural sector. Because obviously there's an overwhelming business economic value in Hong Kong, but probably in America, you were more lucky that here there's a better balance about social value and business, but there's a very hard job for us on the other side of the planet. And of course the future, part of the future, or at least my future, or some of our future, is China. And we don't want China to be like the next America. It's better to be the next Bilbao. So we're trying to work on it. So when I talk about city-states, this is a map that almost, one could say, impossible for anyone to comprehend. Basically, we have Hong Kong on the bottom right-hand corner. This is what we call the Pearl River Delta. And we have 9 cities and 2 special administrative regions. Hong Kong has 7 million population. Altogether, we're talking about 70 million population. We are building high-speed trains, so everything will be connected within 1 hour by transport. So we have this 70 million connected within 1 hour. So you can imagine it's about like Germany kind of compacting itself into 100 kilometers. It's quite interesting phenomenon. And that's China. And there's several of these things going on in China, at least around Shanghai, around Beijing and Tianjin, the southeast, 4 or 5 of them going on. So there's something very interesting. And I have to say that the cultural practice could be, or some of us having creative practice, could be the pioneer, the pilots in the integration, the connections between this new kind of geopolitical relationships. As I just demonstrated, we're actually faster than the politicians, faster than the engineers, faster than a lot of the other bureaucrats, because we are working on culture and we have a better shared understanding rather than conflicts and tensions. So we are proliferating. So I would say that we should make use of the advantage that we have, the possible international, national, or regional network that we try to create. Mediating urban change, apart from very big projects, of course we have very compact projects as well. I also try to show you something from inside out. We have stopped the reclamation of the harbor for new land after 5 years. Well, it was 5 years ago we have this court case that we stopped this.